Just 2 days ago, we got the news of a new air-to-air missile being put into service with the United States. Just 2 days ago, on August 22nd, well, I guess technically 3 days by the time this video comes out, the entire world was made aware of the AIM-424 LRAAM. Before we dive into this video, I'd appreciate it if you guys hit the like button and subscribed. Only 11% of my current viewers are subscribed, and if we're going to have any chance at hitting 10k by the end of the year, we're going to need to get those numbers up. So the AIM 424, which was a concept weapon for a long time, which was the LREW program, or the Long Range Engagement Weapon Program, which was first disclosed in 2017. The United States Air Force was the original drive factor behind the LREW program. This was supposed to give things like the F-15EX, the F-22, and things like the F-16 long-range capabilities against the Chinese Air Force in a war over the Pacific. But now it seems that the U.S. Navy has taken over this entire program. The AIM-424's disclosure has been equipped on the FA-18F, Super Hornet, and the AIM-424 also fits inside of the F-35C, which it's quite cool to see because at some point, not anytime soon, at some point in the next decade, we're going to get to learn how does the AIM-260, the AIM-174, and the AIM-424 fit into the same, stuff for the Navy, because the Navy now has it where the Super Hornet can carry all of these missiles, which is really cool. And then obviously the F-35 is undergoing abilities to receive the AIM-260, and now it has an even better air-to-air missile, the AIM-424. Now, why this is important to War Thunder is GAIJIN is at some point going to have to start guessing on air-to-air missiles. And prior to this, it was kind of just, oh, Russia is going to have the farthest, capable air-to-air missile. And, now the Pentagon has kind of been out here where this is a multi-stage air-to-air missile. And it's now floating the goal of developing extreme-range air-to-air weapons that can reach the 1,000-mile mark. And the goal here is to now survive future enemy air access capabilities of equal reach, and to take advantage of very long-distance kill chains that will dominate future air combat. So now, the US Navy and the LREW program, or the Long Range Weapon Engagement Weapon, can now outfit the F-35C with the AIM-424 LRAAM. It can carry 4 of them from the looks of it. And then the Super Hornet can fit the AIM-424, and also the AIM-174. So really now, all we know is a few things. So we know that the engine is a 2-stage solid propellant rocket motor. We know its operational range is 460 kilometers or 290 miles plus. So it's practically a 300-mile range weapon. The launch platforms is the FA-18E and F Super Hornet, the F-35C, because the F-35C has the largest weapon base of all of the F-35s, and the FA-XX. And then also, we know a few other things, like the wingspan of 26.2 inches, the diameter of 13.5 inches, and the length of 13.5 feet. It's manufactured by Raytheon, and obviously, this is a weapon we know nothing about. I can't tell you a single thing about this. Now, it's a separate program from the JTAM, which is the Joint Advanced Tactical Missile, which is the AIM-260. And it seems to be the missile that's supposed to help propel us to the 1,000-mile range. Now, it is a 2-stage missile broadly comparable in size to the AIM-174 Gunslinger, though it's slightly shorter and lighter, which allows it to be carried by the F-35C, and it's substantially larger than the AIM-120 AMRAAM, which is pretty cool. It's very interesting, because, like I said before, GAIJIN, previously to this, was going to have to kind of say, oh, Russia has the only long-range air-to-air missiles that they've ever shared or ever shown. Well, the US has now shown 2 very capable long-range air-to-air missiles that GAIJIN gets to play with now. Because, like I said before, we're going to have to start guessing about air-to-air missiles. They're going to be guessing about the R-37. They're going to be guessing about the Meteor. And they're sure as hell going to be guessing about the AIM-424, the AIM-174, and the AIM-260. But it's very nice to see now that there's a real possibility that we're going to be able to see these missiles come and be able to compete with long-range Russian air-to-air missiles. Because prior to this, there was really no hope for the U.S. because of how GAIJIN implements Russian things. On paper, Russia had even China had phenomenal long-range air-to-air missiles, and now so does the United States. And before you guys say, oh, blah, 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 it's not even in service. Yeah, I understand that. But like I just said, Gaijin's going to have to start guessing about things. If they're going to give other countries the Meteor and they're going to give Russia super advanced long range air to air missiles, they are going to have to give the United States access to at least the AIM-260, which I believe is going to enter service in the next year. The AIM-174B is already in service, and the AIM-424 is supposed to be in service. I have no idea. No freaking idea, actually. There's not a whole lot on that as far as I'm aware. There's like 3 sources I'm using with which, if you guys just go ahead and look, there's the Navy source, which this was shown at the Tailhook Symposium, or whatever it's pronounced, on 22nd of August 2026, stating the missile was in flight testing. It was intended to be deployed on the Super Hornets, the F-35C TR-3 in Block 4, and the future FA-XX. And then it's also TWZ.com has a pretty decent source, which talks about this being a missile that we have to compete with China over the Pacific, which, yeah, makes sense. Now the Navy has answered. And yeah, this might not be big for War Thunder, but, it's a real possibility we see the missile come at some point. Maybe not next year, maybe not this year, but in a few years, I can absolutely see this now being a missile to compete with longer range Russian and Chinese air-to-air missiles. I want to know your thoughts down below in the comments on the AIM-424. Is this an important missile for War Thunder? Is this a missile that is actually now giving War Thunder a chance to have a long-range missile for the United States? Or is it going to be something we just never see because it's too new and too advanced? Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Join the Discord link down below in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video.